Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Grace. Well, actually, welcome to or welcome back to my channel, depending on if this is the first video that you're watching. So today, I've actually been listening to AJR a lot. If you don't know who AJR is, it's a band, and they have like really, really good songs, like period, end of story. So their newest song is 100 Bad Days, and I kind of got an idea from that, and I was like, I have a lot of bad days, especially since, just life. So I figured maybe I'd just like tell you 100 of my worst days, because in theory, from the lyrics of their song, is 100 bad days makes 100 good stories. So we're going to see if these actually work. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the day that in college, my freshman year of college, I went to University of the Arts, and I lived in their dorm, and I had two roommates. And today I'm going to talk about the day that one of my roommates left. So in college, I roomed with 3 different people, like I said, and one of them was my best friend from high school, which was awesome. We went to the same college, we got into the same program, and we actually did the same major, and then, I don't know, we just kind of like fell out of contact, like, whatever. It happens. So we also roomed with another person. She was an art major, and, well, we didn't really have that much in common. Well, I didn't. She was just very sloppy. She would like stay up all night. So we had a lot of problems with her. Coming in at around like 3 a.m. She would have 8:30 classes, sleep through them. And then she would be like, well, why didn't you wake me up? And I was like, girl, your alarm clock woke us up, and I have to be there early and stretch. Like, I figured maybe you would just like go to class because, well, I mean, she's an art major. I was a dance major. There's 2 totally different like environments there. Like, I'm not really sure, but like, since I was a dance major, I'd get up early. I'd get my clothes, drink my coffee, go to class, stretch for about a half hour before the actual class started. That was just personally me. I know other people did different things, but I mean, for me, I felt like it was very important for me to get there early, make sure that I was there for every single class. So anyway, that was my life as a dance major. But for her, she would just like come in at 3. She would like be out all night, and I was like, how is this possible? Like, how are you even making it to class? How are you even passing this year and then going on to the next year? Because obviously, if you were failing out of classes, you wouldn't be allowed back in. It's just, common sense. But anyway, so we just had like problems with her. Like, she would leave dirty dishes. Me being the petty bitch that I am, I would clean mine and my friends, because we would switch off, do chores. She would sometimes wash my clothes, I would wash her clothes, depending on if we had like change money. I mean, we were broke college students, like, period. That's what we were. So me and my friend Chelsea, like, we would wash clothes together, like, we would do dishes, we would vacuum, we would take our time, we would together like clean the dorm room. And she just like, she wouldn't clean. She would not clean. She'd leave dirty dishes. Oh my God, I had a time hop photo on my Facebook, and I was like, holy crap, I can't remember our dorm room ever being that disgustingly dirty. But I mean, oh my God, I couldn't believe like how filthy it was. Yeah, it was just like, she she was just sloppy. Like, that's the one adjective that I could say that was nicely put. She was sloppy. And I don't know, she was just very antisocial. Like, we would invite her out to places. I know when I was in my freshman year of college, I was working at a club. Like, they knew that I worked at a club, so I would come in around 2:30, but that was only on the weekends. And I mean, I'd be like, oh, sorry guys, like, and she wasn't even there for half the time. It was only usually on the weekends, so it was kind of like, okay, well, weekends you can stay up, like, it's fine. But anyway, in my college, actually university, you had classes every single day. There wasn't a way that you could work it that you didn't have classes. Like, you would have your core classes, which was what you were majoring in, and then you would have like your electives, and then you would have the education part, I want to say. I mean, it was all very educational, but it was like you would have your I did death and rituals, I did architecture, I did history classes, like literature classes. So that's what you would have. Like, you would have every single day a class, at least one. There was one way, there's no way that you could have worked it any other way. At least in my schedule, you couldn't. So she wouldn't go to class. She just kind of like slept all day. She would just like louse around, like whatever. So we had a huge problem with that. And finally, like, it got to the point that she was just so sloppy that there was dishes piled up, her dishes. Like, we would bring our own dishes to the dorm room. It was so bad that her dishes overtook the whole sink. And we didn't have a dishwasher. We had to wash them by hand. And finally, I was like, are you going to clean up your dishes? And she was like, yeah, I'll get to it eventually. A week later, still dishes there. I'm like trying to work around hers because I refuse to wash anybody else's dishes. I'm not a maid. Now I'm not a maid. I'm not a maid. I don't get paid to wash your dishes. We don't have a dishwasher. You have to do them yourself. So like finally I took all of her dishes. I was like, put them on her bed, and I wrote, clean me, because, well, I was petty. But I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, you're coming in at all hours of the night. I complained to our RA several times. I was like, listen, she's coming in at like 3:30 when we have 8:30 classes. I'm exhausted. She's making noise. She's just... it's a dorm room. Like, you can't do these things. She's sloppy. She's not cleaning up her own things. I talked to her, and it was kind of like, listen, this is a commutative living arrangement. Like, I mean, obviously I wasn't there, but this is what the RA told me, what she said. So she was like, listen, this is commutative living arrangement. Like, you have to make sure that you're cleaning up and not leaving mess for your roommates to make. Like, this, you're an adult, this is college, like, you need to make sure that you are cleaning for yourself. They're not your mother, they're not your father, like, they're not your parents. They're not going to clean up for you. So, anyway, I don't remember what really happened. There was just a lot of problems with her. So I don't remember what happened to bring it to this, but over spring break, she had gotten her belongings out of the dorm room and she had left. I mean, that was fine. Everything was fine. Like, that's cool. She didn't touch any of my things. I think she stole silverware from us, and that was about it. But she took all of her things out of there and had left. And I was like, okay, great. At least like the last couple of weeks of school, because our spring break kind of landed where it was like we had maybe, I want to say 6 or 7 weeks left of school. Like, it was pretty close to coming up to the end of the year, that our first 2 semesters were gone. Like, that was our first freshman year. Like, we were done. So anyway, she took all of her stuff. She left. I came back from spring break early. Well, not early. I came back the day before, early on a Sunday, because Chelsea, my friend Chelsea, well, ex-friend, we're not really friends anymore, had, what did she lost her keys at a club that we were at, the few days before we went on spring break. So I had to unlock her and let her in. So I came around like 5 o'clock. I noticed all of her things were gone. I'm guessing she went to a different dorm, or she just left and she went with her parents. I know she only lived like a half hour away from the school, so that wasn't that bad. But when I came in, I started unpacking all my things, and I was like, I texted Chelsea, I was like, she's gone. And Chelsea texted me back. She was like, what do you mean? And I was like, she left, like, all of her things are gone. I sent her like pictures. This was before Snapchat too, guys. So I like took pictures, sent her pictures, and she was like, holy shit, like, make sure she didn't take anything of our stuff. And I was like, I didn't even think of that. So I started going through. I noticed like a few things were missing, like that weren't hers. I saw like silverware was gone, like a couple of things that I left, like food wise, was gone. So anyway, I unpacked. I texted her the list. I was like, listen, like, there's a couple of things gone, like, no big deal, but we're gonna have to like get some stuff when you come back. She was like, okay, no problem. So I went in, I unpacked all my clothes that I brought, and how my bed was, we had 4 different beds. We had a bunk bed, which was 1 and 2, and then we had her bed that was right underneath the window, and then we had Chelsea's bed, which was right against the wall. It was supposed to be 2 bunk beds, but somehow they got it apart that they could make it like 1 bed. But we were supposed to room with 4 people. We only ended up rooming with 3, and so our roommate left. When I started setting up my bed was near a dresser, so I would put my computer there because we didn't have a TV in our dorm room. So I put my computer there, opened it up. I was going to start watching a movie or a show. I don't remember what I was doing. I like watched all the streaming shows. This was also before like Amazon Prime and Netflix. No, I think Netflix was still around, but like I didn't pay for it because I was like, no, not paying for it. I'm broke. So anyway, like I put my computer down, opened it up, and I started to sit on my bed, and I was like, ow, like what is going on? Like, I was like, it feels like something is stabbing me. And I was like, that's impossible. Like, I stood up and I was like, there's nothing on my covers. There's like nothing there. I already had my bed made, left my duvet cover on, or the comforter. And I left it there over break because I made it and I already washed the sheets for when I came back for spring break. So I sat down again and I was like, I'm getting stabbed by something. So I opened up my comforter, and underneath my comforter were thumbnails, like the push-in thumbnails. And I was like, this bitch is trying to stab me. What is wrong with her? Like, who does that? She put thumbnails underneath my comforter so that I would get stabbed. And I was like, what is wrong with people? Like, if I actually just like laid down in bed, I would have thumbnails in my fucking spine. Pardon my language, but I was like, what the hell? So I called my RA and I was like, the roommate that just left, she put thumbnails underneath my comforter, and she was like, I'm actually not there right now, but I'll call the RA on duty. And I was like, please hurry. like, if she still has a key, I don't want her coming back in here. She put thumbnails in my bed. If you know what if you know any dancers, the number one like sabotage for a dancer is to put thumbnails in the shoes, like point shoes, because, you know, ow, you go up on your toes. This crazy bitch put thumbnails in my comforter. I went and I was like, holy crap. I was like, I gotta go check Chelsea's bed. So I like checked her bed. I saw like one on top of her blanket. And then I pulled it back and I was like, there are 3 thumbnails on here too. And I wish I would have taken a picture of them, because I think people thought that I was crazy. And I was like, we didn't have, like, I didn't have any, like, I had no reason to have any thumbnails. Neither did she. We were gone. Chelsea didn't have any, her keys. So, like, obviously she wasn't the last one out of the apartment. The other girl was. So she just, like, she had them all. And over the winter, we had to actually thumbtack, tack the, I don't remember what it was. It was like, it was kind of like a sheet up to the window, because we didn't have, a curtain, and our window had like this much of a crack to it, because it was an older building. Like, there was no heating, there was no central air. We had like one of the AC units in the window to keep us cool for the summer, but like there was no way to keep the cool air out, so our room was always cold. So we tacked up like a sheet to it. So she had all the tacks. She was the one who tacked it up, because her bed was right underneath the window. So she when I called our RA, they took a report, they talked to her, they pulled us in I want to say maybe a week later, and they were like, listen, she's claiming that she didn't do any of that. That she said that she might have had some fling off when she pulled off the sheet off of the window. I turned around and I said, I have a bunk bed. The thumbnails, or the thumbtacks, whatever you call them, would have landed on to the bunk bed above me, and they would not have gone underneath my blanket. There is no way that this was by accident. Like, she clearly tried to stab me. Yeah. So anyway, that's one of my bad days. Don't worry, we're going to try to make it to 100 to one of my worst days. They're going to pretty much range from bad to very bad to like possibly the worst thing that has ever happened to me. So anyway, that was one of my bad days. If you like this, keep watching. I will definitely do a series for you. And yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.